I graduated from Newport, Rhode Island, Rogers High School in 1934. And one of my fondest memories was my art teacher, Miss Harvey. I learned a great deal from Miss Harvey. She was mostly a drawer more than a painter, but she encouraged me into the painting in the last year of school. And then when I went into the film business in Hollywood in 1940, I met people like Claire Colbert, Hank Fonda, Gary Cooper, Lily Palmer, Claire Trevor. And they were all great painters, and we used to meet like once a week or once a month and just paint together. And we learned from each other, I think. One of the greatest memories of Hollywood were those painting sessions. It was kind of a social hour, whatever, call it what you will. If we were working, we couldn't go naturally, and I was always in 5 or 6 films a year. But on Sundays, when we called ourselves the Sunday Painters, we would gather at one of our homes and one of our houses and show off to each other what we had done during the week. Those are the best years, the best of times.
What did Lionel Barrymore tell you about working?
When I worked for the great Lionel Barrymore, he said, "Don't waste your time, Van. Take up one project each year and see it through." And that's when I learned to speak French. And the following year, I got onto painting again, because I neglected it. Then Spencer Tracy got into painting. And Kate Hepburn is an excellent artist, but very shy about showing her work. But it was good occupational therapy. I think it's important to have not only one hobby, but many hobbies, and a religion. Because after all of this comes through him. Mostly the color and the inspiration.
Did you paint when you were in Europe? Did you sketch?
One of my greatest joys, I've been fortunate enough to have been around the world many times, was to paint out of hotel windows. From London, Paris, Rome, Berlin, the south of France, Portofino, the Italian Riviera. I remember Claudette Colbert said, "Now when you go to Paris, you must go set up your easel on the embankment and on the Seine River and try to paint the Eiffel Tower." Well, I did, but I had to put on a beret and a mustache. And as soon as I started to work on the thing, I felt this tap on my shoulder. It was this big American tourist lady, charming. But she said, "Van Johnson, what are you doing here?" Well, I was so self-conscious, I packed up and I never painted outdoors again.
What did Winston Churchill do for you?
One of my other most fond memories was being on the Onassis yacht, the Christina, years ago, and a man named Winston Churchill was on board. Miss Garber was on board, Maria Callas. And Churchill got out his easel one day and he says, put up a canvas and paint along with me. And I sat and I stared at the canvas for the longest time, and there's nothing more terrifying than an empty white canvas like an artist with his white paper and his typewriter. So he said, "Start right in and splash away any color, anything, because you can cover it up with the paint afterwards." And he gave me the courage to start each painting each time. He was a fascinating old man, and always chomping on his cigars. And he would never clean his brushes. He had a valet do that. But now we've discovered acrylics, and it's much easier than the paints. But I miss the oil and the smell of Winsor Newton.
Did you ever read painting as a pastime?
When I left the Onassis, the Christina, the yacht, I think it was in Portofino, and Mr. Churchill gave me his little book. It's a little bread and butter book called Painting is a Pastime. And it's been my inspiration and my Bible. He was quite a gentleman. He didn't waste any time.
What do colors do for you when you're painting?
Colors, there's not enough color in life, and I love color. That makes me happy to express myself through the paint box. And I see color everywhere. I'm more aware of colors now. And the green leaves and the different shades of greens and trees, and you go through the parks, particularly in London, where we have different greens than we do here in Central Park. But I see colors that I never saw before, now that I'm painting again.
Do you taste the color? Red, you taste red?
Yes, I'm a red boy, as you can see. I used that expression once that I taste red, or does it taste red? And everybody looked at me like I had 8 heads, which of course I only have 7. But I can taste red, I can smell red. Red is a happy, vibrant color to me. And you'd be surprised how many people are red people, like Streisand, Barbara Streisand loves red. And a few other people. That's how the Red Sox started.
How did the Red Sox start?
Well, my first big Hollywood party was at Jack and Mary Benny's on a Saturday night, and I came rushing home from the studio where I was living at the Bel Air Hotel, and the maid had forgotten to bring back the laundry, and there was only one pair of socks in the drawer, and they were red. So with a black tie and dinner jacket, my Mary Jane pumps, I put on these red socks. And I was never very confident socially, so I was always the first to arrive. And I found the Red Sox became a great icebreaker because people like Bing Crosby walked in, and George Burns, Bob Taylor, Barbara Stanwyck, Claudette, and they all complimented me on how clever it was that I was wearing red socks with a dinner jacket. But actually, I didn't start it. It was John McClane and Errol Flynn who started wearing red socks before I did. But they were gone now, and they left me the legacy.
What about the pink sky in the south of France?
I painted once in the south of France in the Hotel du Cap terrace. The beach umbrellas and a bit of Nice in there, I improvised, and it was just before the sun was setting, and it was truly a pink sky. And I remember bringing it back and giving it to Hal Wallace's sister, Minna Wallace, and she proudly put it up on one of her walls, although she had other paintings and painters. And Foxy Sondheim, Steve Sondheim's mother, who was a great artist herself, said there's no such thing as a pink sky. I've never seen a pink sky. But she went to the south of France about a year later, and she called me. She said, you're right, they are pink at dusk.
Do you feel that your eye has changed now that you've been working with paints?
Well, like I said before, I see colors that I never saw before. The greens in the trees, and particularly at Christmas time, to see a child's face in a toy window, looking at the toys, I see colors in his eyes that I never saw before. It's a whole new experience and very broadening.
What about when you talked with Claudette and Gary Cooper?
Well, we all had supper at Claudette's. I say supper because Sunday night was early supper because we all had to be up at the crack of dawn to work. Thank God we were all working. And I brought my Grandma Moses painting of Red Barns in the Snow. I was going through that period. And Gary brought one of his paintings. He was a very fine draftsman. He made a big painting of a lot of buildings. And Lily Palmer brought one of her big still lifes. And she painted like I do now with a knife, very bold. And Claudette looked at them all and she said, but I think you have to paint like that before you can paint like that. And the first that was Gary Cooper's draftsmanship, and the other that was Lily Palmer's boldness. And Gary Cooper, and he spoke more words that night than I've ever heard him speak before. He said, Claudette, you are so right. And I find myself today, my techniques seem to be changing. I'm getting bolder and more nerve, and I discover something each time. Each day I paint, each painting I do, there's another lesson. I'm really kind of self-taught.
You going to paint more paintings around the world? What are your plans for the future?
After this Dallas show, I want to take a freighter or the Rotterdam around the world, and I do brief sketches, watercolors, and then I bring them home and do them from the colors of the pictures that I've seen, and I improvise and add on to what I see. But the only way is to get out in the country, like Van Gogh did. I had the joy of going to Amsterdam last year and going to France, where Arles and Chartres, where the poor Van Gogh did so many of his paintings. And of course, my favorite film is Kirk Douglas in Lust for Life. And I've seen that about 20 times. And to me, Kirk is a painter. And I don't think he paints at all as a hobby, but he should. Tony Quinn is another fine artist. And he played Gauguin, if you remember. Tony Curtis is another fine artist, and the beloved Red Skelton does clowns, because he is a clown. But there are many fine painters out there, like Elke Summer, and Anita Colby, who lives over in Jersey on a lovely farm.
Who are the painters that you admire the most?
Well, I started being a Grandma Moses fan because my old boss, Mr. Louis B. Mayer, had a huge collection, and they were big pieces of Grandma Moses. And I had the good luck to visit her up in Vermont once, and her gallery owners were there, and they said, Grandma, we need one more painting. And she just took a great big painting and cut it in half with a scissors, and nobody knew the difference. She turned the canvas and painted the edge of the canvas because there was a red bond on each side. But she said, and I don't understand these men, these gallery people, who say that you must put a little purple or a little blue in the snow drifts. Because, but she said, I never could see it. I never could see the tones of the purples or the blues that they wanted me to use. But she was my first inspiration. Now I graduated. That was my New England background, I think, coming out. My Courier and Ives period.
Do you think painting is a healing?
Oh, I think painting is the greatest therapy in the world. I think it's important not only to have one hobby, but to have many. But painting, particularly today with the new acrylics, you can travel with them. On planes and trains, I can needle point it because it's clean and you can wrap it up in the roller. Hank Fonda taught me that when I was recuperating from the last hospital thing. But painting is a great therapy, yes, particularly people who have to work with their hands or should work with their hands as a healing process. But it's great mentally too, because you suddenly find yourself, you have a different look in your eyes, and people say, gee, you look wonderful. Did you have your face lifted? I said, no, I've been painting, getting ready for an art show in Dallas, Texas. By God.
Is it as exciting as being on stage?
Well, I always get nervous at 8 o'clock or before I get, because I have to get to the theater to prepare in the musical at 5 o'clock. But I think there's not, you have to isolate yourself to be a painter, like a writer. It's a very private life, and you're disciplined life. You have to be alone, and I paint, I'm fresher in the morning, and I get up at dawn, and I paint till dusk. Now, there's a marvelous lady painter in Rome, Nancy Kaminsky, I think her name is. She's an American, and she says you should paint no longer than 3 hours a day, but you should paint often. But I think you can get punchy painting too long, yes, and it's fun to step back. But I always look at a finished painting in a mirror.
Would you like some coffee, Ben?
I just had a cup.
Yeah? One of the more?
No, thanks. Keeps me awake.
You want me to fix those lights better, Dino? That's it. Now it's balanced.
Why don't you center it underneath those two blob things you've got up there? That's my fine eye. All right, now get out of there.
Should be away from the window.
All right, looks fine. Stop fussing.
Is it leaning back?
No, it's okay. It's perfect. It really is. You will be surprised with what comes through this.
Should I take this out of the way?
What?
To stay
No.
in?
I'm not. I'm just going into the picture by itself.
Okay, stop a minute.
Right address?
How about, so we just do them one after the other. You know, start out like the ship and widen out.
Yeah.
How would that be? Is it too bright?
No.
I can lower the light.
No, because we have.
Wait, I'm sorry. Did you ever shoot back towards the door?
I'm sorry. Yeah.
You shot from the door back into the room?
Yeah. When I first opened it, I think.
Oh, but you didn't shoot this way.
Looking at you from here?
Looking at the door from here.
No.
Oh.
I ain't turning left in here. Really.
Start on the thing on the door, Dino, and widen out and pull back. You know, so you see the whole room.
Yeah.
Start again. Go at the door tight on that bird, and then just widen out and pull back.
Those birds with the light are wonderful.
Isn't that beautiful? You want to start on the parrot's eye and widen out. Want to come into the kitchen, you know? Shoot from here.
You gotta tell me if I can keep moving.
Yeah. 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 I got you. I got you. Okay.
How far can I go?
Another 2 feet. Yeah. Okay, stop. You're at the sink.
Oh, but I get a wonderful view here from.
Let me take that other painting away. Huh?
Which one?
The flowers. Here. You want that yellow one?
Wait a second, I can. Yeah, I know. Your apartment is gonna look empty.
Empty.
Completely.
It's very weird.
You know, I want to get this one with the little cat, but the camera asked me for light, so
I'll
if
move
you
it
don't
over
mind,
here.
yeah.
We should do all the big sizes. Here.
Well, you see, the ones that I have been able, that I have enough distance, is not a that one I have it perfectly well.
You do?
Yeah, yeah. The problem was when we had so many things around there that I didn't have room. Okay, that one I have.
You have this one too?
Yeah,
This one.
yeah.
How about these? You got the
Yeah, the parrot I got perfectly well.
You got this blue one here?
Yeah, through the
You don't
kitchen.
need them. Let me take the ones from inside. You want to shoot in here, Dino?
Do you have more light in there?
Yeah. Oh, this is what I got.
No, if not, I have some of those spotlights. Your phone is ringing, Alan.
You want to answer that for him?
Wait a minute, is the doorbell?
Oh, it's the
No,
door.
it's in the kitchen.
Oh, it is, it's Adele.
Oh, it's here, Dino.
How are you?
Did you do that one?
Excuse me?
Did you do the kabuki lady?
Yeah.
Here's this flower.
Okay. I just didn't want to cut you in the picture.
What?
Okay, you can go ahead now
Yeah?
and change it. Yeah, I am.
Wait, watch out. This one frame. This one frame.
Bring all those stuff out. Watch it. Bring those stuff out. With you. The address is what's there?
Oh,
Do you change that one?
which? Huh?
The one on the window?
Yeah, I'm gonna do it. Now you want to do these.
Yeah.
So that was great. So, you had talked
Well, Alan said, what about Carlton? I thought about it. We got another one coming up. I think it's like, I think 15.
It's very interesting when
See them all backed up against each other,
and
right?
to see when the camera asks for light. It's so spooky. Do you want to move that one from there so I can take the one behind? Yeah, I did.
Sebastian, you want to speak to the Batman? The Pied Piper? So I said, oh, yes, Daddy. Pied Piper. I love him because he's very adult. He speaks, yes, Mr. Johnson, manners. So I said, why did you stay in Boston? Knowing full well the answer would be the Ritz. I said, did Daddy do that? He said, Daddy, did you decorate the Ritz? No, in Boston. No. Anyway. So then he gets on. She from Scotch tape.
No, it's not Scotch tape, it's like a mystery tape. I thought maybe to do the back. Should I just start doing them?
Yeah, let's start with that.
All right.
Because they'll be here at 1:30.
I can stop us in the moment that you tell me, Alan.
No. Now we'll do the ones that are in the window.
See, and I just think that this,
And I'd like to do these little ones, you know, that you get
Ooh, that one, of course, that gotta be.
Wait, let me straighten that. Yeah. I like that. Me too.
I have 3 favorites, 4 favorites that I think are sensational. This is one of them, the one that I am just doing. This is another
That
one.
one.
This is another one.
And to go back to that empty apartment, that's what I call Lonnie Stevens. She's a very brave lady, because she lost her husband for 5 years ago.
she's really sweet, cheerful.
Yes.
The other one is the Pink Provence.
Yeah.
I think that's a very, very wonderful picture.
Which one? This one?
I can see you.
Wait.
No, the little one. Talking about my favorites.
That helps a lot.
I want to get these ones. Wonderful paint in there.
Well, I
The flowers are wonderful.
Yeah, I love that.
Somehow, I'm changing. I used to stay up late and sleep. But I'd rather get to bed early too and enjoy the morning. It's
Yeah.
nice when the sun is out. I feel, you feel energized.
Yeah.
And so I'm just
Okay, no.
changing. Do a lot now.
What about these, you know? This one?
I used to
This one
study.
you did.
Yeah.
And then
Oh yeah, that one I did.
Yeah.
But we do it again.
Study for about 2 hours.
That's another of my
Then I
favorites.
didn't feel like doing anything else. It was like,
That's a wonderful painting.
Get up and get moving.
No, it's cruel.
Get that thing. I know when I go up to fill out the morning when I'm married in the dark, I have my ice cold shower at 5 in the morning, and to fill out that I'm slipping like a cow, and then walk up to bed. Wait, but I think Jesus, what a lucky slob.
You want to change it? You want to change it, or you want to?
The phone would be ringing from the agents and they says, for God's sake, they know I'm having my breakfast.
There you go.
Last night I started to watch Channel 13, that something like
Yeah,
that.
these two.
I saw it, by the way.
You know, it's just
Very
boring.
heavy.
Give me 1 second.
I'm
I
not
just,
interested.
since they are
I'm
still
not
hanging,
interested
they just.
in seeing about the 30s. That whole environment isn't.
What followed it? Oh, Bird Club, that's right.
Yeah, I watched.
Did you?
Yeah,
Well, when I saw him eating an apple with some broad opposite, I got the
yeah, there was.
tutus and ballerinas.
There was another thing that he did on Channel 30 last week that was called Configurations. It was wonderful. This was very good. It was ballet. And then yesterday, I don't know. I like the art programs because, you know, the camera goes in really close. And it's really informative. Then there was one on the Hudson River School.
All right.
That's the
Huh?
Hudson
I'm not hanging these up over here. Oh, we'll put it in the middle.
You can. The lighting is very good on here, Alan. Yeah.
So I'll take the other ones off.
I've seen it. It's Tiger.
But I'm a big fan of his.
You know-
Now he's looking away from it too much and talking to people off camera. I want to see him work.
I know, you know, he sounds so gross. On the other hand, he does it
Very
in a minute,
cute,
you know?
very cute.
Yeah.
But then he takes the time paper and does great effects with that. But then he's only got 3 people sitting off camera and he keeps looking at
Well,
them.
give me a smile on the camera because,
Yeah.
I mean, I just get your back and moving.
And he stands there and he's all business. And he does the painting.
And it's really amazing.
That's one of my
They have a
favorites.
corner,
Yeah.
right?
San Francisco.
Been on this subject.
Yes, yes, really.
Are you having a good time, Dino?
Oh yes.
Yeah?
Oh, I could.
Huh? Tell me, I'll put this one over.
Okay, go ahead. If I was all alone with unlimited time,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, without
Yeah.
any limit.
Geography counts much.
Okay, go ahead. Put the other one on top.
Exactly. Like the inlet with Danny.
I had that one many times, but
You
it's,
have it?
yeah, yeah, those
You have
are
that one?
yeah.
Well, let's see. Oh, this one you don't. These you don't.
The one that you had against the wall, I did.
Yes. What does she say when they do that?
It's too close not to.
Oh, that's a very nice little painting too.
You just have to take the elevator down to see it.
Yeah, it's right. It's in the middle.
Got it?
Yeah. You have one more?
I have
So I
these.
take that Hudson River School, I don't know whether it's worked or not. And then, when it was, it's in the afternoon, I chose, then it was, an hour on sewing on that was an exhibition.
You have one more?
It was, on, Turkish.
And it's still going.
Right away, said, no, the Egyptian might turn to the right. You gotta take it.
Yeah.
Do you have another one? Okay. Oh, the piece of cake.
Piece of cake.
All right.
Should I take the thing out behind it?
Yeah, it certainly will help. I didn't want it to be too, yeah, that's much better. All right. All right. All right.
This one?